Let's start this with some highlights. These are all from mouse reviews over the last few months. They're decent, right? Same as what I usually do. What you might not have guessed is they're all on the Samsung G9 Odyssey 49-inch, super ultra wide. I've just been using OBS to show only the center of the screen. And that's the first point. You can still use these monitors for streaming and make it look normal. Mostly anyway. You can still lose some stuff on the sides. Quick note on issues, I've heard a lot of problems with these monitors, and I actually had dead pixels on the first two. Thankfully I was able to get them replaced, and now I have a good one. But please make sure you can return them until Samsung works out these issues. I guess it's early versions of the tech, so there are bound to be problems. Usual woes for the early adopters. I'm not excusing it, it's just how these things seem to go. I was mainly getting this monitor for the novelty. I wanted to try it out. I didn't like the idea that it was two 27-inch screens next to each other, because I was already on the 32-inch G7 Odyssey. I still love that monitor, and if I was just gaming, that's the monitor I'd get. But these days, I do a lot of content creation, like these videos, graphic design, and I also make the music you hear on the channel. Having so many things open with so much screen real estate is just amazing. I'd like it to be a bit taller, but the width is really good. I also have a lot of stuff open even when I'm not working. You can't get setups that work with TVs, but my setup, I'm better off using ultrawides. That's the next point. You need to get what suits your setup. The 49-inch will suit people who have large desks, especially corner desks. The curvature is big, but it's great at the right distance, and I don't really notice it. And in game, you're focusing on center screen. So yes, if you look at the sides, things are badly distorted, but you're not meant to be looking at the sides. It does give you a little more vision, but I'm not using this monitor for an advantage in games. Even League of Legends seems to stretch a bit, and doesn't give you that much extra. So no, don't buy this for an advantage in games. Keep your vision on the center and enjoy the experience. It's pretty cool for racing games too. And virtual surfing, which is available on Steam if you're interested. Shout out to them. Not affiliated. Next question, is a triple or double monitor setup better than a super ultra wide? I had three 32-inch monitors set up, and honestly, it made me feel kinda sick while playing, and some other people experience headaches and other issues. Plus, there are even more compatibility issues with games, and you get the black borders in between. Not to mention the absolute cable mess. 3 monitors means 3 power cables, and 3 DisplayPort cables, instead of 1 of each. I tried 3x27-inch as well, same issues. Which brings us to the next point, frame rates. The G9 gives us 240Hz, so we want at least 240 FPS. And that's at the resolution 5120 by 1440. That's slightly under 4K in pixel count, so you need a really good system to run these things. This is a Ryzen 5900X with a 3080 in it, and 32GB of RAM. Quake Live I had to run in a window. The game tech is too old for this resolution, and that's my one major complaint, but it's not the monitor's fault. It's Quake Live being old. It's okay, I can still play like this. In Fortnite at these settings, same computer. These are the frames I'm getting. So yeah, it's possible, but this monitor is expensive. And not just because of the price tag, but because of the system you will need to buy to really enjoy it. The monitor also has G-Sync, so no stress if you can only get 200 FPS. You can still get a very smooth experience. In terms of performance, I don't have any flickering issues, no light bleed, and no blurring or smearing. Everything looks great on this monitor. I'm really happy with it. However, there are still some issues with software. It's early tech, it actually worked fine on the 2080 Ti, but now with the 3080 PC, I had to use a hotfix driver. I'll leave a link to that in the description. And even then it restarted, but after that it's fine. Now I just don't touch it. It's working, leave it, just walk away. I'm not even going to update my drivers, until they guarantee they've fixed it. Response times are pretty hard to measure. I don't really know how to test the response time on this. I did a few thousand FPS tests, looks pretty responsive to me. Doesn't look like there's a delay as such, but we need more accurate testing. The important part is I don't feel hindered by it. It's a VA panel, nice colors, viewing angles are fine despite the curve too. Good blacks of course. You might want to back it up with an IPS ultrawide on top though, just so you can make sure you get those proper colors for design. I wish they'd include a longer USB cable. This monitor is huge, you can't have your computer that close. I think it has to be underneath. So yeah, weird they don't include a longer one. Now let's get to the conclusion. If you're a gamer and work in content creation, or you need that extra space, then yes, I can recommend it, if you're willing to put in the effort to get it working. I actually bought this myself and I'm happy with the purchase, but only because I got a good one. So again, make sure you can easily return it or check it out before buying. It's really fun in games. I don't feel like I play worse on ultrawides at 240Hz, and the pros far outweigh the cons for me. but it really isn't for everyone. Make sure you figure out what's best for your setup. If you're going to go for a triple monitor setup and can afford this, then I'd recommend you buy this over the multiple monitors. Much tidier, easier, no bezels in the way, it's just better. OLED TVs might be better someday, but we need them at 200Hz. And then you have to make sure you sit further back, and have it below your desk for vision. I'd say stick with the usual 16:9 monitors, and the G7 is my favourite of course. 32-inch, 1440p, 240Hz. Exactly what I wanted. I just don't like the curve on that, but I love the curve on the G9. We don't need curvature on 16:9 monitors, but we do on the ultrawides. And that's it. Usual links in the description if you want to help support what I do. Like and share this video, and I'll catch you in the next.